is the Grand Duchess Rasmussen. As I was saying earlier, cutting off of all things, it doesn't mean antisocial. It doesn't mean that, you know, there's no thought into it. But sometimes to make a clean break, remember, there are many different species of citruses and other plants. You would have never had that variety if one didn't realize the crowded, or it didn't have space to grow, or it was stifled. And so, how I grew out and left my family and the military behind. Yes, I have a lot of distaste, but at least I'm not down there banging their doors or threatening them. Do not. I just say la vie, peace, put in my claims. And if you give me, I take, and I go, and I want no personal relationships from the past. The funny thing is, in such relationships, the forefront of everything is to spread your wings, to become, to let your words become you. Love is undying and unpassionate, and it doesn't mean that you don't love. It means that you must move on. When you live in a world where you knew your hurt was a disastrous consequence of what you thought your relationships were and how love wanted them to treat you. Isn't it disgusting? A disgusting or a mother to lie against a child who was always effortlessly supportive. And so profession and so forth, how could anyone rectify or justify that? I do that by looking ahead and making it unfortunate that they had to be like that. It's unfortunate also that I came to this level of growth, this way in life. This is not the way I wanted it, but this is the way it happened. And this is how I should have grown. This is how I envisioned myself, the woman that I become. Yes, born a boy, always felt like a girl. Embrace that. The truth is not what we want to see, but it is what it is. And we become and we grow, and successively we say it for what it is, regardless what people think. And if they judge it, then too bad. The peace, inner peace and comfort is yours. And so forth. It's an unfortunate, my 5 years with the military, but it's a conclusion of everything messy and evil and contrary to what I believed, because I lived up to my belief. I can't say the same about them. I cannot. I cannot say the same thing about my family and so forth, and some friends and so forth. I can't say the same thing about the Democratic Party, who I wholeheartedly vote for because I believe in it. And I see the mentality of slavery and so forth by being committed not to party, but to being committed to party and not to truth. I see the meaning when Martin Luther King said, injustice, injustice, it doesn't matter where it belongs. I see it. I see people that live against their word and the ethics of their office. And am I perfect? No. But I am one small ant. How many people that could have been crushed, that couldn't survive like me, that end up in a place where they were just medicated out of their mind. And truth, they live such an assault that we could not even think about. I could have been one of those people at the hands of my family and this institution. But thank God, here I am. Some people said to me, well, you have an angel, is your friend. But the failure of humanity is that it had to be that angelic, because we are meant to be the angels to each other. The rescue, the animal rescue, the human rights. We don't need an angel. We are supposed to be the angel. And so when we fail, if you do believe in such so forth, an angel and so forth in the fabric, then yes, it will come, it will save. I witness it, and I live for that. As alone as I am not overcome by loneliness, because of that very fabric of love that comforts. It defines and defines me as the fabric of something far greater in this life. And as I believe that dying is not death, but therefore I would never take my life, because that preciousness of my life witnessed to me that same angelic spark, that fabric that comes from belief of the word being made flesh, if you want to believe it or not. But I believe, and so it became for me. Maybe not for a lot of other people, but for me. Once in a lifetime you hear something and you scoff it off, but I live that experience. And so forth. I want to read something I wrote about friendship. Friendship makes us angelic, not divinity. It's one step to reach another step. Let me start reading the quotation again. Friendship makes us angelic, not divinity. Such deceits comes to disaster in innocence, affinity, and loyalty. Then love defends friendship in divinity. So loneliness never overcomes one that comes completely with honest attractivity. And all I'm trying to say is friendship makes us angelic. We are the angels of each other, the protector of each other, the support of each other, not divinity. The next step of this life, when our spirit have passed, what you want to believe, because I believe that we're going to live, fade the body, and then enter the spirit. Not divinity makes us angelic. This is our pass is to each other. And such the deceit that comes from being friends or being related to somebody or believing in something other than what I believe in divinity. So whatever believes you, if that becomes a disaster to your innocence, to your naivety, and the affinity and the loyalty that you have to it, then love, whatever you believe in, comes and defends you in friendship, in divinity. So that if alone I am, the loneliness does not overcome me or overwhelm me. There's no sadness. There's no unhappiness. Any displeasure I have is the lack of resolution with the military and the situation and so forth, and not being able to walk away and start over. So it never overcomes one, and completely with honest attractivity. And so therefore, such was my loyalty and my love to all of them. But basically, life asks me, what is the loyalty, self-value, and self-worth to you? Are you worth it to stand up and say it for what it is? Are you? Love created, and I am alone, created by love within life to exist, a light life. I become more than the earth, but the fabric finds so defined divine. So I live the life of light, true to mine words, and I, in I and I, raw upon I, love, 'tis of thee in thine am I. If love never die, why would I? This is me, the Grand Duchess Rasmus Coden, 3706 Manor Road, apartment 2, 240-274-0156. Have a good evening. Call me back.